Let's make a journey into the military past. Novoyelnya is a picturesque place of Belarus, located in a pine forest. In the summer of 1941, a pioneer camp, a happy island of childhood, the Belarusian attack was organized.
The drama of these children began on June 17, 1941, at the Belarusian railway station in Moscow. This year they are taken not to Crimea as before, but to Belarusia for the summer holidays. Small internationalists are waited near 70 kilometers from the western border of the USSR in the resort village of Novoyelnya. Everyone who was in the international detachment has its own destiny, but all children live in the Soviet Union for more than 1 year. Many of them were born here, but they all speak Russian. The youngest turned 8 years old, the eldest 13.
Pioneer camp in the village of Novoyelnya was located in a special secondary school building. The place of rest was picturesque. On Sunday morning, the 22nd of June, the boys went to the Molchatka River. For them, a pioneer fire was organized. The children did not even have time to rejoice. They saw low flying at German planes. War, it's broke into Novoyelnya.
Guys, gather their closest, return back to the pioneer camp. In the pioneer camp there was a discussion to wait for the bus or to get to Moscow on foot.
Guys, calm down. Everything will be okay. The nurses won't come here.
But we have seen low-flying aircraft. We know that it is a German aircraft. They are already flying above Spain. Will our parents fight?
But flying planes doesn't mean that the war has already started.
We were afraid. They flew very slow and shot through the water.
Unfortunately, the camp is interrupted. But don't worry. The war are soon.
Guys, we need to make a decision. Wait the bus or to come back. We can't wait. The fathers will come through here. Then let's get to a patient care, the little ones.
Yes, guys, there are only 8.
And we will try to reach Moscow and the alive. No, we can't leave. Maybe the bus will come soon. And there would something happen with us.
Each put forward their arguments, and all the arguments seemed compelling. As a result, 3 children went by bus, 5 children went to Moscow on foot, and 30 children stayed in Novoyelnya.
The first German came. He was with a submachine gun with rolled-up sleeves. His boots are white on the belt of a grenade with a long handle. We were small, they were tall and healthy. We went to the camp, took books in the library and burned them in front of us. Books in the schoolyard burned all day. The occupants in the school building arranged a commandant's office. Frightened children were thrown out onto the street.
So the wanderings of children began. They wandered around the village, slept in barns, attics. To feed somehow the children grazed cows, knitting blouse, for them a local population. In August 1941, a German authorities became in children. The local burgomaster was interested in collect the children abandoned house and organized a shelter. The house was cold and damp. There was firewood. In spring of 1943, a German authorities woman from Vilnius was sent to the orphanage, who gave out to the Jewish girls, Yugoslavian Rosa Averbach and Slovak Valia Gera. The girls were taken to Novogrudda ghetto and shot.
Except Rosa Averbach, the daughter of the Yugoslav communist, they took Valia Gera. Her father was a Slovak and fought in Spain. It is unknown, as the Germans knew about the Jewish roots of these two girls. They were captured and sent to Novogrudok. They were shot with others doomed.
In summer of 1943, 5 children, the Austrians Karl and his sister Lucia, Ferdinand, Greta and the German Irma Evers, were put in friend cars and taken to Poland along with other prisoners. The Austrians were taken to Germany, so Irma was left alone.
I came to a pioneer camp just for 20 days for my summer holidays. I was often ill and my parents sent me there to improve my health. The war started and we were alone, without parents. When we were hungry, we had to look for some job, babysitting, grazing cows. The life was very difficult. We were often hungry, but I was with my friends. In the summer of 1943, I was left alone. I was sent to a labor camp in Poland. One day, a German woman took me from the camp. I became her servant. All day long, I walked about the house, cleaned the rooms, cleaned the windows, fed the animals, worked in the garden. For my hard work, I got bread and some soup. After that, the children and adults were sent to the Soviet Union. When I meet parents, sent me that you helped me, cried, but I couldn't. After these 4 years, I nearly forgot them.
From the international pioneer camp, there were only 5 children: sisters Vlasta and Mira Riniak, Chinese Tina Ostrova, Italian Paletta Glucosio, and Korean Volodya Matsi.
During the first year of the war, we saved a lot of hardships in the camp. It was cold, we had for clothes and we were starving. In summer, Paletta and I went to the neighboring village Eduki to graze animals. We met partisans, they helped them. Paletta returned to the shelter, but I continued to do my mission. One day, when I came to Novayelya, I saw nobody there. The children were taken to Dyatlova. I decided to visit them. But I was caught by the policemen. The 3 of us, me, Sister Mira and Tina, with the people from Leningrad, were taken to Germany. At that time, I was 13 years old. We were taken to a labor camp, New Königsberg. It was a huge camp. We woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and we worked for 10 hours a day. I packed defective shells in the boxes. A Gestapo agent tracked me down. I was arrested and to military prison. I was cruelly beaten and thrown into prison. We were spent 2 months. Then with a group of prisoners and transported to the concentration camp Ravensbrück. In April 1945, the evacuation began and we went on foot. I was lucky. I survived and was but the Soviet soldiers.
In summer of 1943, from an international group were only the Korean Volodya Matsi and the Italian Paletta Glucosio.
Within 2 years of the war, we were all separated.
When we came to Dyatlova, life became even more difficult. The food was given to us at the shelter, nearly untenable. Many children died of hunger.
I remember in the summer 1944 we were transported to Muzei in forestry. Living here was impossible.
The horrors were endless. In the summer of the 44 years, the Germans slaughtered cars into the draw to the Novayelnya station. No one knew where we were going.
All the way we were in fear, in inhuman conditions, and not a day or two, but 2 months. There was no water, no bread. During a stop, they gave us what was left from the soldiers' kitchen of the Germans. When there no food sometimes, we asked for it, even the Germans, and instead of bread, it was often the cake.
It was awful journey. The train passed many stations and cities. We drove in Poland, Czechoslovakia and Hungary. After train and after bombarded.
I remember it was in the Carpathians. A strong bombardment began. We didn't know where to go, ran from the car and hid in the wood. when all was good, no one was looking for us. So comes the end of this terrible journey.
It was the end of August 1944 when we were found in the smallest went to a village of Chervenova. The smallest children were taken to families and older ones lived in empty house for 2 months. Volodya and I appeared to Nekrasov orphanage. Those remember it.
I was lucky. I found my mom in March 1944. I recognized her, but had nothing to say.
I saw my mother only on 8 May 1944.
We were not involved in the war. We were just children of war.
In order to survive, we had to ask for bread during of war. Autumn of 1944, 18th landing forces liberated Zakarpattia. In the village of Chervenova, they found 186 surviving children. They were treated in the hospital of Mukachevo city for months, and then moved to children's homes Arlovщина.
In June 1981, the first meeting of children of hard times with Chervenov mothers. They agreed to meet in Novoyelna. At this time, students of our school were looking of the Pine War from the article by Tomin, The Land about the fate of the Pine Camp. In May 1985, after 40 years, 20 children met in Novoyelna. In memory of the Pine was a memorial plaque and alley of 21 rowan planted. In Dyatlova, children's cemetery was rested and memorial signs installed. The crowds to decide it, a museum children of hard times in the Novoyelnanskaya school. On 18th of September 1988, a museum, Children of Hard Times in Novoyelnanskaya School. Children of political emigrants, Onka Chengelov and Paleta Glukozio from Sofia, Irma Evers from Berlin, Vlasta and Mira Renyak from Prague. Walled Alley was planted Venzevets. The Victory Park and Children Memorial Complex were land. They opened in Dyatlova. There were meetings in Moscow, Prague, Sofia, Leningrad, children becomes adults, everyone in life. There are children, adults, victims and adults, so the struggle for peace, bricks, childhood and food should be the main consensus of any state. We are proud Republic of great Belarus. You are great conditions for the children people to study, take and rest, care their health.